Alright, welcome back to Adobe Animate CC. In this tutorial we're going to actually continue to modify our animation for our banner that we have here. As I played it back, I realized it might be kind of cool to have these arrows come in as a flashpoint in the beginning. And so in Illustrator, what I did is I brought in the actual document and then just basically retraced one of these arrows and export it out. So as a PNG file. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit by grabbing this little guy here. And you can see here in the timeline how things are going along. What I want to do is grab this first keyframe and just move it in a couple of little guys here. And that should be enough. And what I want to do is essentially highlight all the way down by clicking on the top frame here and dragging all the way down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold shift while I do it and select all those frames there. And what I want to do is add additional frames in here. Now I can right click and do this and insert frame, and that will do it, and I could keep doing that. But there's a hotkey that will allow you to insert frames, and it's F5 on your keyboard. So what I want to do is kind of have some room here where I can, basically have this animation where the arrows drop in. So I'm going to add just a few more frames here, probably at around 36 or so. Kind of want to have about 3 seconds where, they kind of go in. So something like that before it happens. And now I want to add a new layer, and actually I'm going to add, click just to add a new layer there. And I'm going to go File and go down to Import, and I'm going to go ahead and import to stage. And I'm going to choose this blade PNG file, click Open, and there it is. Now it is a little bit smaller than should be, so I can scale it up by clicking on the Free Transform option here. And if I just hold Shift, I can grab a corner here and kind of reposition it here until it's pretty close. Now, it doesn't have to be absolutely precise in terms of the arrow. It's kind of a feeling of it. So I accidentally hit enter, which launched the animation, which is kind of funny. What I'm going to do is actually turn off all of these layers, the visibility, so I can just focus on this arrow here. And the arrow's looking pretty good, but I want it to do is I want it to basically move in from the right to the left. And so and I want actually multiple copies of this. So I'm actually going to make this into a symbol. So I'm going to go ahead and modify, convert to symbol, and choose movie clip, and I'm just going to call it arrow, for example, and click OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to move all the way back to left here. I'm going to click on this first frame here, and what I want to do essentially is have it jump out. So actually about 12 frames will probably do it. So I'm going to click right here, right click, and insert keyframe. So at this point, what I want it to do is basically snap into place down here, like so. So I want it to start from over there and end here. And again, all I have to do is right click in between those two keyframes and choose Create Classic Tween. And now as I scroll forward, you get that arrow effect where it snaps over. Now what I want to do is actually duplicate this many times. So what I could do is I could redo that whole animation, but I can also right click and go to duplicate layers. And by doing that, what will happen is I'll get another copy of this same arrow going over this same area. And what I can do is I can select this whole area here and slide it over and adjust it so it's basically starting out at a different point and it ends at the same spot. And then I'll have to adjust where it ends, because I don't want them to line up over each other, but they can all kind of stand out where they need to be. So I'm going to right click again, and one more time, where is it here, duplicate layers, click on this first frame, hold the shift key on the end here, there we go, and then again drag it over until it approaches there. And so now all I have to do is adjust again those endpoints. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with the first one. Okay, that one's fine. The second one is where I want to adjust it. So I'm going to turn off the visibility of this one temporarily. And then on this frame here, I'm going to move it back to there just by holding on Shift key while I drag it over. So now we should see, if I turn this one back on, we should see 1 and then 2. That's good. So now the third one, I'm going to go to here and I'm going to turn off the visibility of both of these and click on this last one here. And again, hold Shift and just drag over till I get to the third marker here. Now I can turn them back on and you'll see they all kind of zoom in here. Now I'm going to provide a little bit of easing for each of these. So inside here, I'll click inside the timeline and do an ease out on each of these basically. I just dragged 100% for each of these guys. There we go. Oh, not quite there. There we go. Now I'm going to turn on the additional layers that I have there. And let's see. It looks like, you know, this animation starts a little bit less, so I could remove some layers actually. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click here and hold, whoops, there we go. Hold the Shift key to select all of those, and basically at this point I can right click and remove frames. We'll do it. And you'll see that basically it's sort of snapped there. Now what I want, the next thing to do is I want to remove this row also. So right click again and remove frames. And now we have it sort of lined up pretty close to the starting point here. So let's go ahead and what I'll do is I'll hit Command plus, reposition this and deselect everything, and then hit enter and see how this would work from the beginning here. Hold on a sec. It's going to repeat again. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. And then we got all those flashes and so forth and the spinning wheel. Now I do want them to fade, so that would be the next step. What I would have to do, let's slide over here. So each of these at a certain point, what I want to happen is I could basically eliminate them, but what I could do is create what's called a layer mask to hide them, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the very next tutorial. So until that one, we'll see you soon in Adobe Animate CC. Cheers!